I had to end up getting this blue attired Ken Shamrock figure for my collection. He just appeared in so many things in that blue attire with like video games and things. So we'll open up, check it out here. Little bio on the back. Great one to have for the Attitude Era. Chalk up another one here. Shamrock, of course, coming with the older Attitude Era looking Intercontinental Championship belt. Very shiny, very dark gold. Not even really particularly realistic, I don't think, for the belt, but it is pretty nice to have like a bright new colored in Intercontinental title. Of course, the WWE logo instead of the F, but you know, what are you going to do? With all the lettering there. Handy one to have for this time period. So many awesome champions. You can put this on if you don't keep it on Ken Shamrock here. So here's what you're getting this figure for. The blue tights Shamrock. He's got his kind of MMA, more kick pad, boots and knees. Pretty awesome. No elbow pads, but he does have this little bit extra articulation for the elbow here, kind of a newer point, because again, I had the original Shamrock release here in red, but he had the elbow pads and he has the older elbow, just kind of more simple. So if you wanted to really soup up your blue one, give him the elbow pads. But let's take a look at the faces here. I don't think this is necessarily a real scan, but I will say the blue one does seem to have a little more detail in it. Maybe there is a little bit of the scan. The eyes are not quite as solid color as the red one here, so he is a little more cartoony. I don't think this one came with a belt, the red, but it did come with a robe, so you can kind of still have value in this one because he has his entrance robe you can put on for that look for his entrance, which will conveniently cover up the elbow pads, so you can maybe transfer him onto the blue Shamrock here. Can have a ring-ready Shamrock figure. Seems to be the same face, but I guess paint does go a long way in the end, just the way it's colored. The lips and the eyebrows and just everything just a little bit different colored, just ends up looking better this way. Do get some alternate hands like fists, which might be more fitting, and then these pointer fingers, which are interesting. I don't really remember. He must have kind of raised his arms up and kind of did a point, just kind of his victory pose, I guess. I don't know. Unless he's pointing at which leg he's going to break with the ankle lock. I guess that could have been it too. So I was going to avoid getting the same character again when it gets released later, but I keep doing like better attires, like this blue one is just a lot more memorable for me. Doesn't have the entrance gear, but you get an extra belt that's good for any figure, even if you don't just use it on Kenny here. Staple of the Attitude Era, kind of bringing in the mixed martial arts, UFC, kind of hard, real style to some wrestling. Almost ending up with his own division almost in that time period. Had the special Lion's Den matches and things like that. Didn't quite happen, but he was right there in a lot of key events in the Attitude Era, different groups and teams. Very intriguing character. It's awesome to add this one to my collection. So I open all of my wrestling figures from this time period, even WCW and things like that. Right here on the channel, all wrestling figures. So if this is your heyday wheelhouse, or just want to learn more about Attitude Era figures and things like that, in the 90s, this is where you want to be. Someone say this is the correct zone to be in.